Welcome back to the Daily Uplift Official, where encouragement is something you can always count on. If you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. Our mission is simple: to inspire, encourage, and to help you keep moving forward no matter what season of life you're in. If today's message speaks to you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this encouragement. Now, let's get into today's message. God would have never given you the opportunity if you weren't well able. There are moments in life when God opens a door that seems way too big: a new job, a new ministry, a new relationship, a new business, a new responsibility, a new dream. And instead of feeling excited, many people feel afraid. They begin questioning themselves. Am I qualified for this? Am I ready? What if I fail? What if someone discovers I don't know everything? What if I can't handle it? The opportunity arises, but confidence doesn't. The door opens, but fear steps in first. Today, I want to remind you of something that could change the way you look at every opportunity God places before you. God would have never given you the opportunity if you were not well able. Notice I didn't say if you would feel able. I said you are able. There's a difference. Many times your feelings lag behind your calling. Your confidence may not have caught up with your assignment. Your emotions may not have caught up with your purpose. But God knows exactly what He is doing. When He opens the door, He already knows what's inside of you. He sees strength you have not discovered yet. He sees ability you haven't developed yet. He sees courage you haven't you haven't had to use yet. He sees potential you haven't fully realized yet. The opportunity isn't proof that you're unprepared. The opportunity is proof that God believes you're ready for the next level. Too many people spend their lives praying for opportunities only to become terrified when those opportunities arrive. They ask God for growth, then growth requires change. They ask God for influence, then influence requires responsibility. They ask God for success, then success requires courage. They ask God for promotion, then promotion requires stretching. The blessing arises disguised as a challenge. And because it feels uncomfortable, many people assume it must be wrong. But growth has always been uncomfortable. Think about Moses. Moses didn't think he was qualified. When God called him, Moses immediately started listing reasons why he couldn't do it. He focused on his weakness. God focused on his purpose. Moses focused on his limitations. God focused on his power. Moses saw excuses. God saw a leader. How many opportunities have we doubted simply because we looked at ourselves instead of looking at God? We keep measuring our capabilities by our current circumstances. God measures our capabilities by what He placed inside us before we were even born. The truth is, God has never been surprised by your weakness. He knew every flaw before He called you. He knew every insecurity before He opened the door. He knew every fear before He gave you the assignment. Nothing about you caught God off guard. If He trusted you with the opportunity, then He already accounted for everything you worry about. That's why faith is so important. Faith isn't believing Faith isn't believing you have all the answers. Faith is believing God knew what He was doing when He chose you. Somebody listening today is standing in front of an opportunity right now. You have been overthinking it, second guessing it, analyzing it, worried about it, and you've been waiting to feel completely ready before taking action. Here's the truth: most people never feel completely ready. The moment you admire weren't completely ready. Let me say that again. The people you admire weren't completely ready. The successful people weren't completely ready. The leaders weren't completely ready. The entrepreneurs weren't completely ready. The speakers weren't completely ready. The authors weren't completely ready. The difference is they move forward anyway. Confidence is always built through obedience. You don't gain confidence and then act. Many times you act and confidence follows. You take a step, then God reveals the next step. You trust Him with today's challenge, then He prepares you for tomorrow's challenge. You don't have to know everything. You simply need to be willing. One of the greatest lies fear tells us is that we aren't or we are not enough. Fear says you don't have what it takes. You fail. You embarrass yourself, or you'll embarrass yourself. Someone else is better. But God says something entirely different. God says, I created you, I equipped you, I called you, I prepared you, I will be with you. The question isn't whether the opportunity is too big. The question is whether your view of God is too small. Because when God is involved, impossible things become possible. Weak people become strong. Broken people become healed. Ordinary people become accomplished, or they accomplish extraordinary things. History is full of examples. David was a shepherd before becoming king. Joseph was a prisoner before becoming a ruler. Esther was an orphan before becoming a queen. Peter was a fisherman before becoming a powerful leader. Their beginnings didn't match their destiny, and neither do yours. Stop judging your future by your current position. God often starts people in places that don't look impressive. He develops them in hidden seasons. He strengthens them through struggles. He teaches them through challenges. Then one day an opportunity appears, not because they suddenly became perfect, but because they became prepared. And preparation often happens when nobody is watching. Perhaps that's what God has been doing in your life. Maybe the delays weren't punishment. Maybe they were preparation. Maybe the setbacks weren't rejection. Maybe they were redirection. Maybe the waiting wasn't wasted. Maybe it was training. Because when God gives opportunity, y'all, He also develops people beforehand. Think about all the things you survived: the battles, the disappointments, the heartbreaks, the failures, the lessons, the mistakes, the recoveries. None of these experiences were meaningless. They were preparing you. The wisdom you gained, the resilience you developed, the strength you discovered, those things are part of your qualification. Many people think qualifications only come from classrooms, but some of life's greatest qualifications came from surviving difficult seasons. You learned patience, you learned preservation, you learned faith, you learned endurance, you learned how to keep going when everything felt impossible. Those lessons matter. They prepare you for the opportunities you're facing today. The enemy wants you focused on what you lack. God wants you focused on what He's already provided. Fear magnifies obstacles. Faith magnifies possibilities. Fear asks you, what if I fail? Faith asks, what if God comes through? Faith sees problems. Faith sees potential. Fear sees limitations. Faith sees opportunity. The choice is yours. Which voice will you listen to? The voice of fear or the voice of faith? Because every major breakthrough in life begins with the decision to trust God beyond what you currently see. Your future is not determined by how confident you feel today. It's determined by whether you are willing to trust God today. The opportunity in front of you may look intimidating, but remember this: the opportunity didn't arrive by accident. God knew exactly where you would be. He knew exactly what you would face. He knew exactly what would be required, and still He opened the door. That should tell you something. God has more confidence in you than you have in yourself. Think about that. God has more confidence in you than you have in yourself. The creator of the universe looked at your life and said, they can do this. They can handle this. They can grow through this. They can become who I've called them to be, not because of their own strength, but because I will strengthen them, not because they know everything, but because I will guide them, not because they are perfect, but because I am faithful. If God is willing to trust you with the opportunity, then perhaps it's time you trust Him enough to walk through the door. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for complete certainty. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. Move forward anyway. Trust God anyway. Believe anyway. Take one step anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. And every step of obedience increases your confidence in God's ability to sustain you. Years from now, you don't want to look back and wonder what would have happened if you had trusted God. You want to look back and thank Him for the opportunity given you to, let me say that again. You want to look back and thank Him for giving you the courage to move forward. Remember this: if God opened the door, He already knows you're capable. If God presented the opportunity, He already knows you're able. If God called you, He will equip you. If He leads you, He will sustain you. If God started the work, He will help you finish it. So walk boldly, move confidently, trust faithfully, and step into the opportunity God placed before you. Because God would have never given you the opportunity if you weren't well able. Thank you for watching today's video. If the message encouraged you, let me know in the comments by typing, I am well able. And if you're facing new opportunities right now, remember that God already knew what was inside of you before He opened that door. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, The Daily Uplift Official, and share this message with someone who needs encouragement today. Until next time, keep your faith strong, keep moving forward, and remember, your best days may still be ahead of you. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.